Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me in this live webinar on understanding the causes and natural treatments for hemorrhoids according to Ayurveda. So, this is a very painful and discomforting condition that bothers a lot of people. Apparently, 3 out of 4 people in the United States have hemorrhoids at one time in their life. So many people have it for many years and are unable to fully treat it as it comes and goes. So if you have hemorrhoids that just keeps reoccurring, then you've never fully treated it. So this webinar is going to help you understand the different types of hemorrhoids, different levels of degree or grade of hemorrhoid or stages, and also the treatment that will help you to cure it once and for all and avoid reoccurrence and relapse. So first, the 3 types of hemorrhoids, which are actually the 3 causes as per Ayurveda. The first cause is from Pitta. Pitta means fire or heat. So this type of hemorrhoid is inflamed, tends to be soft, red, with burning sensations. The person often gets fever, feels very hungry, and the distinctive factor of this type of hemorrhoid is that the person having loose stools, even diarrhea. So it's moving very quickly, it's hot, it's burning sensation in the rectum, and then it becomes inflamed. And this is called Pitta type of hemorrhoid, or fire. Next type is from Vata. Vata is cold, light, dry, mobile, rough, and active, mobile. So this type of hemorrhoid is from constipation. So the person generally has hard, dry stools, and this type of hemorrhoid is the most painful since Vata is the cause of all pain. And this person tend to have dry stools, and the hemorrhoid themselves tend to be hard and not necessarily bleeding, but very painful. And the third type is our cause is Kapha. Kapha type is from a heavy, overweight person who's probably not exercising much and has poor appetite. What's poor appetite? Poor appetite's when you have no hunger. You're not hungry till 3, 4 in the afternoon. So you have this low appetite, and you're sluggish, and maybe you're having one bowel movement a day, but it's sticky and heavy and sinking. It's a heavy bowel movement. It doesn't necessarily have to be dry in this case, and doesn't have to be loose like in the case of Vata and Pitta type, but it's a heavy and dense type of stool and can be large, so which can rip the rectum and lead to hemorrhoids. And this type of hemorrhoid tends to be large on Kapha types and external. So we could say there's 3 stages to hemorrhoids. The first stage is internal with maybe just a little spotting and occasional blood. And the second stage is small, just slightly protruding a little bit with, spotting and bleeding. And the third stage where it's external and there's more bleeding. So you want to, treat it obviously in the first stage when it's internal and it's just a little painful and there's not much blood, because it's going to be much easier than waiting until you have large, protruding, bleeding hemorrhoids. So let's talk about some of the causes. We've said loose stools, diarrhea is a cause, dry constipation is a cause, but also just sitting too much, sitting on hard surfaces is a problem. In other words, not exercising, not being active enough is an issue. And of course, many women after pregnancy also can have hemorrhoids. And a low fiber diet, not having enough fiber, too much white bread, white flour, processed foods, frozen foods, leftovers. They tend to create more ama or toxins and have less fiber and can contribute to hemorrhoids. And also spicy hot foods. So of course, spicy hot foods are often a cause of stomach ulcerations, colon ulcerations, hemorrhoids, and many bleeding conditions coming from hot, spicy foods, hot pickles, chili peppers, cayenne peppers, and such. And now it can be a cause, but once you have hemorrhoids, you need to stop these altogether, spicy foods. So in summary, you want to stop dry foods, hard foods like roughage, no seeds, no nuts, no dry crackers, no dry chips, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, all can make your hemorrhoids worse, particularly if you've had it in the past. Even very whole wheat bread that's got a lot of seeds and wheat berry can aggravate hemorrhoids. And even stress. Many people I've known, I've treated for hemorrhoids, it got better and they kept coming back, or when they ate the wrong food, spicy foods, and then when they went on vacation for 2 weeks, they had no hemorrhoids and it healed. So stress is a factor. Obesity can also be a contributing factor. They say smoking, due to the dry, toxic aspects of smoking, make it worse. And of course, chronic loose stools can lead to hemorrhoids as well. And even just excess use of toilet paper. Most toilet paper in the store is white, so it's been bleached. The bleach is very harmful to the skin. It irritates the skin, aggravates the skin. So, if you're wiping too much with this bleach paper, then you can aggravate the rectum, inflame it, and this can also lead to hemorrhoids. So many people, once they have hemorrhoids, find that paper, particularly rough paper, aggravate it over using a duvet or water, or just cleansing using water, as many cultures do, is more clean and more effective in avoiding hemorrhoids. A few home remedies before I get on to the herbal remedies. Witch hazel. You can buy witch hazel toner for your face. I have witch hazel toner, which I splash on my face in the morning, and it helps with wrinkles and your skin. But it's astringent action that you're looking for here, and this astringent action, tightens up the skin, tightens up the hemorrhoid. And also aloe vera. Aloe vera is also helping in healing the hemorrhoid, healing wounds. Taking it internally, putting the gel on it externally will help it heal, particularly once you've got the bleeding to stop. Warm baths, even before bowel movements, to help the muscles relax and become soft, so there's no straining. Magnesium can soften the stools, help the muscles relax, because you can't have hard and large stools when you're having hemorrhoids. Sitz bath is also popular, where you can get cold water and put ice in it, and you can put baking soda in that as well, because it's astringent and will help the hemorrhoid to retract and go back inside the rectum. One other cause I forgot to mention earlier for hemorrhoids is just holding in your rectum, holding in your bowel movement. Just like in urinary tract infections, the main cause is that people hold in their urine and don't go to the toilet when they need to, and then it results in urinary tract infections. Same here. If you have to defecate and you feel the urge and you hold it for another 30 minutes, even 15 minutes, but definitely long periods if you're in the car, then this is creating pressure and leading to hemorrhoids. So, listen to these urges, both when it comes to urination and defecation. So, and of course, increase the fiber in your diet. Cooked leafy greens, beans are well cooked. They're astringent and high in fiber. Whole grains, but like I said, not too rough of grains. And less meat. Meat has no fiber and it's very constipating. So, and more oil, particularly if you're having dry, hard stools. More oil in the diet, olive oil, butter, ghee, to help the colon stay lubricated. In fact, putting a little oil in the rectum can help too, but mostly we use some herbs, in ghee form to help the rectum heal as well. So now we'll cover a few home remedies, Ayurvedic remedies. First, we have one here. It's called external hemorrhoid powder for external hemorrhoids, and it's basically alum. And you put 1 tablespoon in 2 or 3 gallons of cold water with ice, or just water with ice, and sit in it for 2-3 minutes. Ooh, if you can do it, and that helps it contract and constrict and go back into the rectum, which is half the job's done. This alum is similar to baking soda, but not the same. It's this is it in Ayurveda. Shataka, I call it alum. It's basically purified alum powder, very similar to very concentrated baking soda. Very astringent. You put it on your mouth, your whole tongue shrivels up. Your lips shrivel up. and that's what it does. It helps it to shrivel up. So you put the alum or baking soda, if you don't have it, in a pot with cold water and sit in it, and this helps the hemorrhoid to go back into the rectum. So that's the first step, is to try to get it to become smaller and go back in. Next, you can put some, like I said, a home remedy, aloe vera gel on it every day. But we use what's called a healing ghee, which is actually Jadiyati Grita in Ayurveda, and it's used for healing all kinds of wounds. It's just ulcers, burns, boils, insect bites, hemorrhoids, and even fistula. So very, very effective in hemorrhoids, and you have to put it on there directly yourself and apply it. If there's a lot of inflammation, we may give out an anti-inflammatory formula like a little curcumin. If there's a lot of bleeding, we use more of this herb called nagkesar, which is basically for bleeding. You know, it's bitter and astringent, and this helps with all bleeding disorders, including excess menstrual bleeding, nosebleeds. That can help in all those conditions. And if there's loose stools, then maybe we want to use this formula here as well. It's a Pittacolin formula. This is for loose stools. See, intestinal inflammation and loose stools. Many people get hemorrhoids from, you know, inflammation initially. Now, then our main formula, and if you have constipation, I may give you some, you know, some Enron Haditaki, some Triphala at night to keep the bowels soft. Here's our main hemorrhoid formula based on Ayurveda, and this is taken 1 or 2 teaspoons at night before bed with some warm water, and best with a little aloe. This is particularly one is for non-bleeding hemorrhoids. And you can see here, aloe vera, first ingredient for healing, Haritaki, Bibataki, Amlaki next, which is Triphala, and then kanchnar, guggulu, and alum, which I just spoke about, alum. What's kanchnar guggulu? This is kanchnar guggulu. Kanchnar guggulu is used for, it's a formula in India, so I don't know, 16, 18 herbs, I'm not sure. And it's used for all growths, tumors, cysts, fibroids, you know, to reduce them down and to shrink them down. So in this case, there's kanchnar guggulu to help shrink the actual hemorrhoid. And if there's a lot of bleeding, then we just add more nagkesar. So here you can see the formula again, if you're learning Ayurveda herbs. Aloe vera, and then the Triphala, then the kanchnar guggulu, and alum. Now, see, it doesn't list the nagkesar. Oh, there's nagkesar right there. See, so if there's a little nagkesar in there, but if there's a lot of bleeding, then we add more nagkesar to the formula. If there's loose stools, we may add katuj or a little bilva. And if there's you know, constipation, we could add some haritaki, but we don't want to add too much because it's heating. We use aloe vera and maybe trivet to push the heat out and to get the bowels moving without creating too much excess heat. So, you know, hemorrhoids is not necessarily life-threatening, but too much bleeding can lead to anemia, which can be dangerous, can make us faint and weak. But mostly it's annoying, and it's can harming your life and affecting your life and reducing your quality of life. So if you have hemorrhoids, you should try to these home remedies, changing your diet first, as I mentioned, then the home remedies, and then if not, you should get a professional help, because it's much easier to treat when you have all the herbs here and you have the whole program, the diet, a couple home remedies like the sitz bath, plus the herbs. Then the results are very good. And you can heal the hemorrhoid once and for all so it doesn't come back. That's a mistake most people make. They stop the spicy foods, they take some laxative, take some magnesium, then they don't feel the pain, and then months later or even a year later, it's all coming back again, and they can't sit down. That's because they never finished the job the first time and never actually completely healed it. So it's very important to heal it. So, and ultimately you want healthy bowel movements at the end. Most people think their bowel movements are normal, and they are normal for them, but doesn't mean they're healthy. You want 2 or 3 bowel movements a day. If you're eating 1 meal a day, okay, 1 bowel movement. If you're eating 3 or 4 meals a day, then you should have 3 bowel movements. Skipping a day is very serious constipation, will create many health problems in the future due to the autotoxicity. And one bowel movement a day is mild constipation, and a bowel movement one a day late in the day is not healthy. You're not getting your waste matter out. Your digestion will be poor, your metabolism will be poor, your energy level will be low. So you really want 2 to 3 bowel movements every day. Should be well formed, and they shouldn't be sticky, sticking to the toilet, sticking to your rectum, sticky too much. They shouldn't be stinky. You don't want people going in the bathroom going, oh my God, who died in here? Then you know that, I have time for a colon cleanse. And you don't want them sinking to the bottom of the toilet. Bloop, oh God, where'd they go? They just went right down. No, they should be float and fresh and not too stinky, not too bad, and not too hard, and definitely not loose piles. So it should be firm like banana, not too like a ripe banana, and floating, and not too dark. You don't want black stools. This is a sign of toxicity. And you don't want white stools. It means your liver's failing. And you don't want tan or light or greenish stools. It means you have low bile output. So you want brown, floating, nice, 2-3 a day. And this is healthy bowel movements. And this is what we try to achieve with every client, with every health condition, is good digestion, good elimination. And it's important to understand that hemorrhoids comes from poor digestion, digestive problems, which could just come from snacking on crackers, chips, and nuts and constipating yourself. Or too much hot, spicy foods, chili foods, sours, foods, too much fermented foods, which carry loose stools, diarrhea, and heat, and can lead to hemorrhoids as well. So it's really a digestive elimination issue, so you have to focus on improving the digestion, which means improving the eating habits, changing the foods, and maintaining proper elimination to achieve healthy, regular bowel movements. Okay, and then you won't have it. So this is very important to understand that. You don't just treat the hemorrhoids, but you also have to treat the digestion and manage the elimination. Thank you very much. Feel free to contact me if you need assistance with your health, and of course if you need assistance with hemorrhoids. Thank you.